Jokes and speed in perfect union. Racing hearts and racing cars, they are the brightest stars. Keep it flat out, yeah. Keep it bent, keep it real. Oh, you know what to do. Keep it.
Welcome one, welcome all. Tonight, Aussie Sim Racing Championship rolls into one of the toughest battlegrounds in motorsport. Detroit Circuit, Belle Isle. A street circuit carved between concrete and walls and shoreline breeze. Belle Isle is beauty on the outside and absolute brutality on the inside. Tight chicanes that snap at the suspension, heavy braking zones where courage counts more than grip, fast riverfront blasts that tempt the brave and punish the greedy, and barely a metre of margin anywhere you look. Now throw in the GEN3 Supercars, big power, big attitude, and zero patience for mistakes, and you've got a recipe for chaos, courage, and some very expensive virtual repair bills. Round 4 brings elbows out aggression, razor thin judgment, and the kind of pressure only concrete canyons can provide. One slip, one slide, one brush with the wall, and your night is over. This is Detroit, ladies and gentlemen. This is Belle Isle. This is Aussie Sim Racing Round 4, and you're watching all the action live on Simsational TV. Yes, so welcome back, everyone. Welcome to the broadcast here tonight. Proudly bringing you here live on Simsational TV. My name is Zach O'Reilly. I am in the commentary box solo for tonight's proceedings, and this is going to be an absolute ripstormer. We've seen some carnage, some courage, and also just absolute shenanigans around the track here for this season at the GEN3 Supercars, but it's growing and it's getting better and better with every single round in terms of the racing quality tonight. We are live, as we said, here from Circuit Belle Isle, and boy oh boy is this a championship that is starting to heat up, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. 14 turns, 19 degrees outside, 3.76 kilometers of absolute concrete jungleness coming here from Circuit Belle Isle in Detroit. It's partly cloudy, 10 kilometers an hour sort of breeze out there. And these boys are ready to rock and roll. 66% humidity means that there's going to be some good power out there for the boys. I'll be loving this in the engine department, the back of the engineers' grounds for sure in the garages. But the format is a standard 3-lap qualifying, 2 basic hot laps and an out lap for them to only get themselves ready to go. And then a race tonight is a 60-minute, a flat chat, or 42 laps, whichever one comes first. So keep yourself strapped in. I hope you've got all your condiments ready and rocking to go. Good evening to everyone out there tonight. It's good to have you here with me for this company of legendary Simsational TV viewers. And if you are new to the channel as well, please at any time give yourselves a like on the video and a subscribe to us. That would be very, very muchly appreciated for sure. But it's going hammer and tong here. I'm telling you, these boys know how to go racing, and they know where to put these cars at the best of times. So don't be fooled, is all I'm going to say here when everyone starts to get themselves ready and rocking and rolling out there tonight. At the moment, though, we are just about finished in the practice session here, and at the top of the timing hour is Logan Howard, and then he's got Robin Thome as well in there. That's Thome or Tome, another debutant to the season, and he's just inserted himself beautifully into this one. Only 0.03 of a second off the big Johnny Howard in front there, leading the way. Who's going to take it tonight? Is it going to be this man, Smith, on your screen right now? Is he going to be able to take some sort of fight into the top 3? Or is Mr. Tim Nicol just going to come and go bang there as well? And even Pip Tomei, who's at the top now, 31.988, first person in there. And as you can see, the carnage is already starting to happen out there, and it's only practice, ladies and gentlemen. So strap yourselves in this one could be an absolute rip snorter. I'll give you the hot tip. But it's all up to who can keep it out of the concrete barriers tonight. It's simple as that. If you don't do that, you are not going to be in any contention to win a race, get a podium, or something like that. It's pretty interesting tonight. There's 47% fuel out there, so they're going to have to pit. They've got a mandatory compound change. They've got 3 sets of tyres only to use. So they've got to go in qualifying, and then they can't use them again because they'll be dead as a doornail. And they've got 2 freshies for the rest of the event. So that's a little bit of a battle to look at there. As you see, Cullen just nick the wall a little bit there too. But this man here, the old copper, Kobe Marshall, loving very, very muchly how he's going about it. Had some success last round. That was beautiful to watch him just plough through the field there and nearly come to the best at times there as the guys exit the server now for their mandatory briefing for the evening. Now, we've got a little bit of a challenge coming your way tonight. We need to have your predictions. Who's going to take out qualifying, who's going to start it, and who's going to absolutely flog it away? I'm not too sure because it's about to start here for quali, and they're ready and ripstorm to go. And that man is already out there in one copper. Kobe Marshall looking very, very racy indeed is that car. We will see him further and further up the grid. This is the outlaps, ladies and gentlemen. It's the first of a many that come in their way. Who's going to be able to keep it out of the concrete? Who's going to keep it on the black stuff and just nail every apex here around Circuit Belle? It's an absolute beautiful circuit to be at, I can guarantee you. And I love racing around this, and no matter what car you drive, let alone these Gen 3 supercars, you can go around here in a bloody Morris Minor and it's still fun. You can go around in an 800 horsepower 1996 old school Formula 1 car just fanging around, or an Indy car as well, because I've raced here too in the past. It's an absolute fanging around here. Love it. Love every single minute I can drive on this circuit. And Marshall's doing a great job here at this stage. Just going on, warming up his hot lap tyres and getting it ready to rock and roll. Let's have a look up down the field because there's some beautiful liveries out there as well. We've got the Soy Mocker out there and Mokolov, Siberian squad coming at you hard. He races just as hard as you think Siberia would too in a war. Here's a good one. A sensational esports own Lachlan Grant has entered himself into the championship, and have a look at that livery. That is a beautiful, beautiful looking car there representing us. And also another man who's not here at the moment, Gray Ward, is also in the chat as well, and absolutely going to be there for qualifying. I can guarantee you that. But on debut here is Lachlan Grant, a quick customer. So these Aussie boys just need to start thinking about which way they're going to go, because he could be up there if he gets his lines and apex is completely right. It will be on like Donkey Kong. But we're already starting our laps. And this man here is about to start his open up. So let's ride on board with him here and go for a hot lap here around Circuit Belle. Into turn 1 we go. This is a beautiful little section. It's just a quick flick to the left, then to the right. And then you've got yourself Central Avenue coming up here. Beautiful, beautiful place to be. Loving, loving every single moment. No, in fact, we're in the wrong circuits. Grey Ward's just gone bang. Go the Sensational TV team. Thank you very much there, Grey Horse. It's going to be interesting here tonight. This guy's flying around the circuit at the moment, is Shelton. He knows how to go about it. Just apexes that car, noses in beautifully, and gets himself ready to rock and roll. Very, very tight sections through here. You've got to nail all these apexes, get the braking marker right, because as soon as you're on the accelerator, if you get yourself chickened out mid-corner, you're going to get absolutely swamperinoed here. And this is what we want to see. Let's get the timing tower up onto the grid so we can see what you guys want to see as well. Let's get it up there and see if it shows it for us. I'll get the timing tower up there. Give me 1 second. Nope, doesn't want to show me it. This is interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's have a look and go for it. Lap times. Let's get that up. Show this. Not going to show me. This is fantastic stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. Just loving life here for me at the moment. Can't seem to get these things up at the moment. Let's see if it's actually up. There we go. It's right up there now. Varga's come through with the first one. Tome's gone set first, straight to the top as well. So we're going to have to see what these boys are doing. The times are starting to flow through now. Shelton's gone to the second row of the first row of the grid, sorry, the 32.4. 32.2 is the top now, and it's been eclipsed already by Tim Nicol. So he is already on for an absolute barnstorm here in the Quantum liveried Camaro. Beautiful, beautiful looking car. He knows how to go racing. Watch out for him. He's done his first one. Shelton here, however, is only in P3 by 0.3 of a second. The gaps are so close, ladies and gentlemen. That is nothing between the two of them. I can give you the hot tip. Beautiful, beautiful looking stuff. Let's get rid of that one and go back here because Lachlan Grant has inserted himself already into the top 5. A 32.473 now for Sensational Own. Loving how he's going about it here for his second lap now. He's on debut, so he's got to realise that he's got another set of tyres he could possibly bolt on if he wants to and go for it, but sacrifice it longer in the race if he just wants to get himself further up the grid and into it at the moment. But he's going to have to settle here for 4th at best so far. The old Varga, the old Mr. Varga himself, loving life. He was right at the top. Now he's got a bit of a challenge. He's got 0.4 of a second to make his way back up to P1 where he thought he was going to be for a second. Sorella's gone into 13th place. Tucker in 7th place, only by half a tenth of a second there over the Price is Wrong. He's inserted himself too into this one, the old Pizza Hut liveried car as well. Beautiful, beautiful looking thing there too. He's got everything you could possibly imagine on the out of it. Benny Mead, he's also doing a great job out there. He's driving the tits off it. He's going to go for a flyer here, so let's ride on board with him. This is beautiful. Turn 1. Now we've got turn 2 to navigate here. Then it's just a short run down this straightaway. Get yourselves parked up and into it. Because I'll tell you what, he's just pulled out now, so he's not going to give me a hot lap either because they're all coming into the pits because they've done their 2 laps so far, ladies and gentlemen. That is it already. Qualifying is over for the top 10. Wade Andrews Georgeson, has not done anything. Ethan Curran's still sitting there, and this looks like it could be all over bar the shouting for a couple of them. Deploy's still going around. We'll go and see what he's doing. He's flying around the circuit here in the Monster Livery car, looking very, very nice in that chrome Monster Livery Motorsport car. He's in 21st. He's got to get himself back up there, though, because he is on like Donkey Kong here to make him further self up the grid. He is up by a good half a tenth on his own at the moment. This is going to be close for him. Can he navigate the final 3 turns here at Circuit Belle Isle? Just got to get that hairpin right there. Nearly just gets it onto the anchors. Straight out the other side. Just taps the outside corner there too of the tyre bundle. He's going to fly his way around. One more corner to navigate after this one. It's a tight. Get yourself set up for the exit on this one. Driving the wheels off this thing at the moment is Deploy. He's going to get himself around and get somewhere up the grid. He's got a 32.1 to navigate. He's a fair way off it here at the moment. He's going to be way, way off as he finishes and crosses the line. 37 something. Nothing for him. He's out. Sorella is still going around. The British Pig is still going for it too. He's gone late in this session. At the moment, he doesn't look like he's anywhere up at the moment. So we'll go back to this man, Bradley Armstrong, who was up by 0.2 of a second. You can see where he is. He's just started his lap, but he's just aborted. So he's done. He's out. Looks like the rest of them have finished their laps there, ladies and gentlemen. So that could be it for qualifying. Gray Ward's just entered the chat, though. However, that final position on the track here for him. Not taking the sensational livery tonight, back on the Castrol side of things, and he's driving around. Can he do anything about his own championship proceedings tonight? As a quick guy, for sure, but who knows? That is where the question will lie for him. On board right now, see how he's going through the motions. He's getting himself back into the rhythm. Late entrant into qualifying, so he's still got a little bit of time here to do his laps, and what a beautiful place to be. Got the circuit all to yourself apart from the British Pig, Carl Brittingham, so watch out for him. He's still going around at the moment too. Gray Ward here at the moment, just looking a little bit edgy here, but he's navigating it nicely. He's just coming around a Strand Drive here at the moment. It'll be a flick to the left-hand side here. Get himself further into the apex breakdown. Get himself shifted into second gear over the inside ripple strip, out the other side. Opens up the steering angle. And it's very much sort of like Queensland 500 there with that corner. Just a little bit of a curse to the left and the right. Now he's got 3 corners to navigate. Just a double apex is the left-hander. And he's got to get on the anchors once more. Not use too much inside curb there and then flick it out the other side there for him. Gets it, job done. Beautiful stuff. Gives Grey Ward going to pump himself further up the grid here in the dying moments of qualifying. On board with him now. Just navigates the final turn very, very aggressively here now. Up on the inside curb. Uses all the track limits he possibly can. Now it's just an absolute slingshot through the grid. Here he comes, says Grey Ward. It's going to bump him somewhere up further than where he was. I'm pretty sure it's a 34.089 in fact. A 15th place for Grey Ward. Beautiful, beautiful stuff for him. And that's his qualifying done, won and run, ladies and gentlemen. What a show there from Grey Ward. From 28th all the way up to 15th with 1 lap to do it. Just absolutely flying around this circuit. And I would say that could be all she wrote for qualifying, unless the old New South Wales Maitland gets the job done, but he's travelling very, very slowly here at the moment, so he's completely out. That's it. That's qualifying. Nickel is rounded out the front position on the grid. Tomei is right next to him. only 1/10 of a second splitting those two. Shelton off the second row shares that with Lachlan Grant in 4th place. Johnny Howard gets 5th. Varga, Cullen, Stephen Tucker, the old oven, gets 9th place as well. Price is Wrong in 10th. Agent Smith in 11th. We've got the old me. We've got Zamet 13th. Nostra Tap in 14th. In Excess will be in the 28th position there. But so far, we'll go back to the rest of them. Once the results start to come up on the grid, that would be nice. There's the rest of your grid there too. Curran, Armstrong, Andrews, Simpson, Brittingham round out the top 20. Sorella, Georgeson, Clark, Erection, Leverage, Watson in 25th. And then for the rest of them down there, you got Jansen, Hutchins, Shoy Mocker, the Wizard, Harry Potter. And then rounding out the grid there will be Cumming, Summerall, and Rogers, who all set times there too. So Sykes, Marshall, Allen, Holton, and Maitland did not set a time in there, ladies and gentlemen. So that is disappointing for the big man. He will be wanting to get himself further up the grid, but a tough place to do so. If the results would come up on the grid, that would be good. Here they are, ladies and gentlemen. Once they do want to pop up, let's have a look and show. Nope, they won't pop up there for the qualifying. Beautiful stuff, as always. But got a little bit of a warm-up here for proceedings to start off. And these boys will be ready and rocking and rolling to go for this one. Shelton's going to take P1. They're all lining up now. So we'll get them in for the warm-up. They're just getting their eyes and ears in. And whilst they do that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take a quick break here to wet the whistle, as they would say, in the best of terms. And let's ride on board here with a couple of boys while I'll be back in just a hot second. And I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. Good to have you all here once again. This is the warm-up session coming to an end here within 40 seconds time. And that means these boys have got no excuses here. How to hot lap, they know how to do it. They've had qualifying and now they've had a warm-up session to get their race strategies involved. See how the car handles for the first couple of openers on some heavy fuel and get themselves rip-roaring ready to go for the grid. And the race, excuse me, coming our way in 20 seconds time. That's all it is. 20 seconds and these boys start to grid up and the nerves start to fly and then they get a little bit toey. Toey than a Roman sandal, in fact, are these gents at the moment. So this could be interesting tonight. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a brilliant one. Tomei's got some pace to find here. He's still a tenth and a bit away there from Howard, who's got the chockies done on the race setup, it looks like here at the moment. But that's the practice session done, or the warm-up, whichever one you want to call it. Now we're going to come back to the pits here and start proceedings on to the grid as we know it, ladies and gentlemen. So let's wait for that to happen. The warm-up has finished, but this is your grid, ladies and gentlemen. Tim Nichols going to round out P1. Tomei is going to get second. Third for Shelton. Fourth for Grant. Fifth, Johnny Howard. Sixth for the Spanish compatriot in Varga himself. Cullen, Tucker, Oven, Price is Right, Smith, and Benny Mead will round out the top 10. Let's go to the next one. You can see Zamet, Patterson, Ward, Curran, Armstrong, Andrew Simpson, and Brittingham round out the top 20. Sorella, Georgeson, Clark, and Rogers the next one in the top 24. Then from 25th onwards, it's Leverage, Watkins, the South African himself, David Janssen from the Swedish man himself, or Finland, whatever he wants to call him. In excess, Soy Mocker, the Wizard. The old Vinegar Stroke in 31st. Summerhill, the Erection version 2. Alan Marshall, Sykes there to round out the grid. And then we've got Maitland and Holton, the final ones on there. And this is going to be an absolute rip snorter. But we are about to go racing, ladies and gentlemen. The lights are up here. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Tim Nichol, Tomei, or Shelton, or Grant come through for the win? We don't know, but in 60 seconds' time, we're about to go racing, and it's green, green, green here. Who's going to get off the line beautifully? They all seem to do there, but I'll tell you what, Tomei's got an absolute rip snorter. He's going to single file his way and try to fight for P1, but he gets sliced, nosed off there from Nichol. Tomei versus Nichol now. Round out turns 1, 2. Now this is turn 3 approach here at the moment. Back down the grid. It's all tussling for positions here. We've got Curran fighting it there with Armstrong. He's going for it too. All these late breakers and movers and shakers are going for it here, ladies and gentlemen. Goodness gracious me in the fair dinkum department. This is incredible racing. Let's have a look at these boys and see where they're going. It's all just starting to kick off here in the background. Curran's under all sorts of pressure here. He's getting hounded by Zamet and Armstrong. They're trying to fight their way through this one. It's going to be on the wrong side of the circuit. That's going to be Zamet up the inside and gets that position done. That's Jackson. Beautiful, beautiful driving there from him. Now we've got a bit of a switchback manoeuvre coming his way as well in the background for Armstrong. He's going to try and fight the move there on Curran, but it is a very, very good old opening stanza. Lachlan Grant's gone backwards at a rate of knots there too. We'll have to check out to see what happened to him because he was right up there. Maybe he just got outdone on the first ones, but the first victim of tonight here is coming. Let's see if the replay shows what happened to him. He's there. He's about to round the final turn. He's got to... Oh, geez, he's got piled up there at the start. Huge, huge incidents. Missed all that, in fact, on the stream. Lots of them involved, and he's just looped it again just to go back to what we don't want to see here, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly that. That was an absolute disaster for the big man, but we'll go back live here because it's getting a little bit toasty. Up and down the field here, you can see that Grant now is in 7th place and he's trying to fight his way back through the field. So we'll see how he goes. Starts, finish line is crossed. He is done. He's over it. Now he's going to try and finger file his way through turns 1 and 2, that tricky section onto this first of the 3 straights here at Belle Isle. Lovely, lovely driving. You can see in front of him, it's getting close there between Varga and Cullen too. So they're going for it. But this is the view from Lachlan Grant's car. He's got a beautiful, beautiful scenery in front of him of Gen 3 Supercars starting to bottleneck all of those guys in front. So he's just got to keep it clean here. Think about the long stint and get himself back into it because he'll be right up there in an absolute flash, ladies and gentlemen. Benny Mead, however, in the background here is really, really close. He's got a beautiful, beautiful view. Look at them trying to single file their way through. That was so close there from Zamet. He is coming at a rate of knots here at the moment. So is Patterson up the inside too. They're both going too wide. Patterson just gets on the slide. See you later. He goes. That's going to be Zamet straight past him and gallop further off down the road. Beautiful, beautiful driving and awareness there from all of them, just not to get in each other's way too quickly there. But it's looking pretty feisty here at the start. You can see here Howard's just barging his way through. Oh, punted. Poor old Ryan Sheldon into the barriers. Absolute disaster there for that man. That is not how you want to do it. Sheldon's off into the bunda and he is gone. See you later, Alligator. Let's have a look at just exactly how that happened. Goodness gracious me, he was right there for the taking, ladies and gentlemen. He was filing his way through there. Just a little bit of an unforced error. Jeff just ticks the wall wide there, has to regather himself, and at a rate of knots, bang, whooshka, into the wall he goes, and that is insult for injury. No front bumper on that car either, and that is disaster for the big man. Well, it looked like his front bumper came off, but it didn't. It must have been someone else's, but back to the action anyway. Howard, caught in 4K, ladies and gentlemen, giving a punterino there to Sheldon. It might be something for the stewards to think about later, but nonetheless, he's up in 4th place now. Grant's made a position up. He's on the back of Varga as well. Tim Nicol has just sliced his way out to a 1.1 second growl. There goes Howard. Karma for him. He's now facing into the barrier. Nicol will be laughing his heads off here at the moment if he can get back around very quickly. Oh, that was an unforced error there from Howard. We caught him, and he's just lost it. The old Prime Minister's just outdone himself. Kevin Rudd's come through and gone, bang, I've won that election, son. Out you go back to the lower house, Champo. And he's right down there in the lower house of the grid at the moment. 16th place out of 34 cars on the grid. Dead set in the middle now. Not the place to be. Let's have a look here, though, because it's getting spicy here at the moment. You got Varga here at this point in time. He's got a very angry Lachlan Grant right behind him, putting the pressure on. And Grant's also got a oven right behind him, pressure cooking his brain as well. So it's going to be on like Donkey Kong here for this one. 4 minutes and 25 seconds already just into this race. And it's like we're going for the final 2 laps again. They are racing hard here, ladies and gentlemen. Belle Isle is 100% a place where you do not want to be involved in that. Any sort of misdemeanor. There have been so many crashes here. Again, it's just too hard to keep up on the grand scale of things. What's happened to Varga? He was right there, in fact, and I'll just go to Grant because he's right there again. And I just missed what happened there on the racing line, and someone has disconnected, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, Grant's in 5th place now. Varga's got that job done. So around and around they go once again, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the stove, though. The stove here is just trying to get himself into it. He actually just did crash, in fact. Did Devon Stove. Didn't come up on the thing, but he just came back into it. But someone else in the background has had an absolute nightmare. It's been incredible. Summerall has jumped to the pit, so he's out of this one. Look at the racing action happen up and down the field here. They know what they're doing here, ladies and gentlemen. Curran's getting all sorts of houndage here at the moment. He's just been hounded there. Armstrong, in fact, has been gained 2 positions here. He's around the outside. Tommy Randall style into the barrier. He goes. There's going to be some damage on the front. It's promoted 2 places backwards for him. So he's gone. Curran and Zamet just go straight through. Hey, mother for the rabbits, they say. Howard's trying to get back onto this one as well. He was in 16th. Now he's back into 15th. And he's hounding the arse end now. Brad Armstrong driving the tits off that Camaro. Here is Howard. Up the inside he goes. He gets that job done. And he's getting himself into 14th place. Lovely driving there. Facing the wrong way a lap ago, perpendicular to the racetrack, in fact, into the barriers on a recovery drive. Here is this big man. The timing tower's going nuts. You can see yellows and oranges and everything going for it here. The oven is back on to the arse end of Smith, and he's got a beautiful view. You can see on board now as we see them navigate this beautiful circuit. They've just rounded this corner, which is the final one. Now they're going to go into the front straightaway here, up against the barriers. Who's going to break first out of these two? They both break at the same time, albeit 20 metres difference apart. Just navigates the car beautifully, turns it in, turns it once, a little bit of snap oversteer there, just mid-corner on exit, over the crest they go. And racing once again is 2 tenths away, nearly 3, in fact, away from Smith is the oven, and he's very much going for it here early on in this stage. There's an error there as well. That's just given the oven a good old afterburner trick. No, thought about it, showed the nose, didn't get that job done. Again, we battle on. This is all it takes, ladies and gentlemen. Just one unforced error, 1 metre wide of the apex, one brake mid-exit around the corner, and you're going to be hounded here. Oh, just a touch there on the wall there was the oven. Beautiful driving. Recovered it nicely there, but he's driving beautifully here for this one. So we go over the cam into the chopper sort of esque view. We're seeing what's going on. Don't worry about what the timing tower is doing. It's all on. But I'll tell you what, Nickel and Tomei are right back in it again. Beautiful driving from these two. They're really going for it. Really trying to get himself psyched up and going for it. See, speaking of which, Sykes has entered the pit lane himself, so he's gone back further down the grid again. But Tomei has not let go of that battle. It was 1.3 seconds for Nickel advantageous. Now it's been sliced in half by Tomei. He is loving life here at the moment, just driving the wheels off this beautiful Gen 3 Mustang of his. You can see how they go about it. It is so fast here, ladies and gentlemen, around this circuit. A minute 30 odd seconds feels like it goes about past in what, 40 seconds, because the action just never stops. You don't ever really get a breather. This is pretty much the only part of the circuit where you get to do something to just stick the steering wheel straight. The ratios are so short too that they're already in 6th gear by the time they get through here. V8 Supercars can get up to 300k an hour. These guys are only hitting about 130, 140 odd mile an hour, as we can see on the grid. But looking very racy again are these two. So it's off to the drawing board. Nickel has just gapped him about 3 or 4 tenths of a second. What's happened to the oven? In fact, down here, he's getting really close once again. These two are the closest guys on the circuit so far. In fact, I'll ignore what I just said because Marshall was going to be there, but he's not. He's gone back out and away and forward we go. Timing tower's just giving me nothing because they're all braking and accelerating all at the same time, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how they do it. Don't know how these guys race so hard and clean. Especially at one of these circuits here where it does demand precision. It's been the best, probably much the most well-behaved Gen 3 race I've seen in the past 3 rounds. This is round 4. There's been people looping it off the start-finish straight in 1st gear. There's been nearly flips. There's been 5 cars piled up into a fence. You name it. We've had it all here in this season. But they're putting on a good show here tonight. Nice and clean and very aggressive at the same time. That's a pretty good combo to have here. But look at this now. The stove is so close. He's 3 tenths away. He's got a little bit of a battle scar on the front left quarter panel and the bumper of his Mustang, but that's not affecting him too much here. He's just showing the nose here, left, right, and center. Then he's putting on those cookers. Up to 240 degrees is where he wants to put the pressure on in Jacob Smith's head. And he's just doing a nice job. Just look at the trail braking. The driving styles between the two of them are so different. Brakes big corner to get that car nosed out on the slide again, does Smith. Well, I'll tell you what, the stove is just loving life here. Absolutely loving it. Just getting past a lap of traffic car, getting out of the way. Very nicely indeed. And off we go to the races. Going to be something to think about in the chat there while this just sort of spices up a bit. It's not very interesting out there in chat land. You can talk to me as I'm going. I'm can do 5,000 things at once. Can answer some certain things. We've got to be on Marshall watch as well, as he's going for it there too. There's a blue flag in the wrong place at the wrong time there for these guys. Gets out of the way nicely as well. Oh, look at that. The oven is 100% now, putting on the temp. Loving it at the moment. Is his timing tower just about to stop? I don't know. In front of him, it's getting a little bit hairy because Shelton has also just made a mistake and brought himself back into this picture. Let's have a look from the rear vision camera. Oh, there's a car facing the wrong way there. Absolutely lost it. I think that was Johnny Simpson. Let's have a look and see what happened to him. It would be indeed. He's got absolutely no front bumper or left on that car. No headlights, no nothing. Comes over the curb, just puts the power down and whooshka, straight into the barriers, and he's dead set in the wrong place at the wrong time because everyone's starting to come through. Look at him, he'll shit himself here at the moment. Brown pants, you name it. That is not the place to be on a racetrack when everyone's coming through, and that car has got more hits than Elton John's bumhole. I'll give you the hot tip, and into the pits comes Ryan Shelton, in fact. So an early pit stop here, 11 minutes into a 60-minute. So this could be interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Keep your eyes peeled for this strategical genius possibly coming our way for the big undercut at the moment. But these guys are not thinking about overcuts or undercuts at the moment. They're just thinking about getting past an object that is in front of them, and it's the stove versus Smith. We've got Price and Mead right behind them, trying to apply the blowtorch at the moment. There it is. Oh, geez, the stove just got checked up there. His eyes lit up like Christmas trees. Thought he had an overtake done because Smith just absolutely bottled the exit, but he couldn't take advantage of that, and that's drawing in Price and Mead now. They're coming for a good old tussle. Now it's all car aggression behaviour, just wagging the tail left, right and centre, putting the power down. I don't care about the tyre wear here, ladies and gentlemen. They're just going balls to the wall stuff style. It is lovely to see these guys go on and on and on here, but they are putting on a show. How to do it aggressively? Who's going to make the first mistake? Who's going to be the cleanest? We don't know. Howard is on the charge again. In the background here, he is right on the arse end of Zamet here. You can see on the rear bumper cam, looking very, very racy indeed. Here's Howard on the comeback trail, and it's shocking to see where he would normally be. He'd be up there at the start, inside the top 12 at the moment. He's got 11th place, really, really feisty in front of him. He's looking for it now. Look how close he is. Cigarette paper stuff there to the bumper of Zamet's car. It's very, very daunting indeed when you've got a car and a driver who is as quick as this guy behind you, sitting there just thinking about which way he's going to take you out. But he doesn't know which way to do it at the moment. He's just trying to bide his time, think about the long race. We've got 48 minutes to go, and these guys are still racing hammer and tong here. So it's a little bit of a strategical positioning. Just going to start to fire that car out the other side here. Does Howard. You can see what he tried to do. He tried to go wide on entrance and narrow out the exit to get that run down the straight, which has worked for him here. This could be it. This could be the move that Howard needs under brakes. Gets the job done. Easy as you like up the inside of Zamet. Thank you very much, says Logan Howard. I've got that job done for now. And Zamet's just going to have to sit there and think about which way to go about it. There's another car. There's two cars off the circuit, in fact. Oh, that's big, big, big implications there. That's Sykesy. His car is absolutely Wallaby Ted's cousin here at the moment, rooted. In fact, and he can't even turn the corner. The front suspension's hanging off it. He's just parked up there. Looks like he's got no front wheel. And these boys just come through at a rate of knots. Oh, he even gets clipped there too. Goodness gracious me. I think that was Benny Mead who just got him. Oh, no, that's disaster for the big man. But he's got the circuit. Gone is Sykes and out of it. Oh, just as we've seen it. Howard has got into the back there, and that is Mead and him trading positions. Goodness me, this is huge again. Howard was just up there. He thought he had the job done. He was getting himself up into it, but let's see what caused that accident too on the replay. There's Benny Mead. So he's just unforced errored himself here, I would say. He's flying through. Got the job done here so far. Nice and easy. Oh, he's just outbraked himself. Locked up the front. Into the barrier he goes. Wacko. And straight across the path into Howard. And that is all she wrote. All over bar the mother of the rabbit said. No bumper and headlights hanging off the front of Benny Mead's car. Disaster. Not the place you want to be. I can guarantee you that was shocking. And Howard's put it in the pit lane. He's teleported. He's done. He's already out of this one. 2 times of it tonight he's tried to get himself back further up the grid, but he hasn't. Speaking of this guy, still can't get the Smith out of his way. And now he's got a good opportunity here. Will he send it up the inside? Right at the point or not? He's trying to. He's doing it every which way he possibly can. He's on the wrong side of the circuit here for the left-hander. And bloody hell, in the fair dinkum stovetop department, this man here is on charge. He is on fire. He's got it up to 240, fan force. He might have to start putting the grill on just so it really starts to toast the brain of the guy in front of him in Smith. But boy, oh boy, he is the oven. Just loving life here, putting every single possible move here he can. And these guys are just matching it. Pace for pace, lap after lap, error after error, you name it, they're going for it. And it is just a spectacle to see. There's a reason why we're looking at them, because it's just putting on a show, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute barnstormer stuff. Hope you guys are enjoying it at home. We're only 15 and a half minutes into this one. We've still got another 45 to go. And these guys are putting on an absolute masterclass of how to go racing. They might not be up the front, but who gives a rat's toss bag? They're fighting hammer and tong here for 6th and 7th place. It's beautiful to see. This one at the front has got a little bit closer at the moment, because at this point in time, it would have been a beautiful, beautiful time. But Tim Nicol has been, and he is out. That is why he's not in the lead of this one. Look at that beautiful, clean circuit in front of him. He's probably thinking about that as he rounds this corner. Comes in, outbrakes himself again into the barrier, just nudges it, just gets it around in time, but he's lost all of those positions. He's lost 3 positions, unforced aired himself out of the lead, and it's just inherited Tomei into the lead of this race. And he's got good company with him though, because Cullen is coming at a rate of knots here too. In fact, he's probably trying to do that. He's trying to cull that first position and get it into his hands, because Tomei at the moment is his prey. Nicol is going to come back at a rate of knots here, I can guarantee you, but it's going to be a tough one from there. 4th place for him, as we just saw on the replay. He's got a hell of a lot of a gap to consume. Lachlan Grant is still sitting in 5th place. Smith and the oven are going at it. It's Matrix versus an oven. Which one wins out of that one, we'll find out by the checkered flag comes through and gets themselves pointed in. But geez, are these guys racing hard. Look at the pace. They just had to wash off so much mid-corner speed there so they didn't slap the barrier. They're sort of monkey seeing, monkey doing here at the moment, which means you're looking at the car in front, you're just trying to copy him because you know that they're the quickest driver on the circuit. But when you do so, you can outbrake yourself by a good 1 or 2 meters, which is about 1.5 feet between yourself and a wall, and that's all you need for it to be a disaster. And you can see the confidence that they've got going on this circuit here at this stage. Looking very, very spicy indeed, and that is a beautiful exit here from Cullen. He's got the run. He's going to try and overtake this position already halfway down the straight. Is there going to be a fight back from Tomei up the inside? No, there isn't. Cullen is absolutely confident on those brakes. Slams it into turn 3. Lovely, lovely driving from the big man. It gets himself up into P1 for now. Is Mr. Cullen, and he's got that job done. Put the bullet in and said, thank you, mother, for the rabbits. I'll have that one. And hopefully he can make some advantageous positions now that the track is clear in front of him. And he knows how to go racing when there's clear air in front. But don't outweigh your ambition there, son, in the talent department. Just keep it clean and keep it going if you're listening in on the stream. But these guys are still going at it here at the moment. I just don't want to take my eyes off him. I've took my eyes off him once and it nearly was a position gained here for the oven. But we'll get off them because there's a couple of other battles just starting to stream up and down the field. Deploy here at the moment. He's in all sorts because I think it's just got a little bit feisty there with a couple of the customers. Well, in fact, it was Shelton who just got involved in all of that too. So he's crashed again, trying to get his way back through the field. Let's have a look and see what happened to him. So Shelton's he's going for a move here. He's absolutely trying to go on deploy up the inside. They've bumped doors here in the braking zone. Yep, outbraked himself, and he's going to try and nearly slam into the other cars. Just a great job to avoid the carnage there. But geez, that was ambitious stuff there, and he's just going to settle again as Shelton for another fight back position. Dangerous re-entry as well. Holy mackerel indeed, it's all on for this man tonight. He is full on serving up every single trick in the book tonight. How to do it, how not to do it. Let's have a look because another man has crashed here too. Greywater's crashed. He's facing the wrong way, and that car has got no bumper on it right now. I think that was involved with a couple of other drivers too. I think it was Summerall and him as well. So we'll quickly have a look what happened to Summerall. Yep, he's there too. So Summerall has just let go by the looks of it. Is this what we're going to see? I don't know. The replay just tells me that they've crashed. I'm having a look at it. There's the warrior in front of him from the Soviet Union. But not seeing anything here. Don't know what happened. But as earned Grey Ward a joint pit lane adventure. Let's put it that way. And he is out of this one. But it's still cracking on here between these two. They're going at it hammer and tong. Tucker is also climbing onto the back there of the British Pig too. So they're trying to get themselves up. Benny Mead's coming through at a rate of knots. He's just got Rogers by an absolute country mile. In fact, Rogers in the erection of Wade has come out of the pits. So he's gone in. British Pig is now having a good old crack here as well. He's got up the inside there of Ram Jam. It was inside the Potter. So he's got that job done there too. And that is Tucker in front of him, going for a little bit of a half send there at some point. But there's some good-looking liveries out there too. Tucker's is a one as well. Look at that. That takes me back to Gen 2 Supercar days. The old Season 1 in the Caterpillar Falcon. Lovely, lovely stuff there from these guys. They know how to make a livery for sure. Jackson Zametz is also a nice-looking one. Two-way cranes sponsored for him. But at the moment, looking very clean, very tardy is that car. Nice red, white and black livery as well. Stove here at the moment is looking very, very close indeed. He's just absolutely binned it too. I reckon he half sent it there over Smith, and he's just lost that one. That was pretty ambitious there for him. Just outbraked himself coming into it. We'll see if we can find something there to invigorate us in terms of what happened. No, he just passed Varga, got out of the way. And that was it. And Varga has had a mare himself. But, yeah, there's another car off too. That would be... Is that who I think it is? It is, in fact. It's Jade Andrews is facing the wrong way here. Trying to get his way back through the grid. Just fighting. Oh, no. He's just hit... He's hit... You're kidding me. He's absolutely Osama bin Laden 3 people. In the process. Goodness gracious me. In the fair dinkum department. What are you doing, ex-Premier of Victoria? Just doing exactly what you did to the straight, mate. Goodness gracious me. That was Shelton who was involved in that one. He was just... No, he wasn't. That's just Shelton's crashing, in fact. He's having a good old look here too. Now he's got a very, very quick customer coming behind. Has he outbraked himself again? No, he's got it in. Yes, he has, in fact. Oh, 2 out of 3 ain't bad here for the big man. He can't get a job done tonight to save his life. Unbelievable for Sheldon, just having a worse and worse night at the moment. But I'll tell you what, Varga won't be happy about that adventure. He will very, very muchly be feeling strongly about that. That was disgusting from the rest of them. Let's have a look at what the pit lane, or the pits are. Let's have a look at the pit stops and see if we can get them up on your screen and see who has done so far. So Howard has done his first stop. Shelton has done one, but he's had a mare. Tucker, Mead, Deploy, Rogers, Potter and Armstrong in the top 25 have all done one pit stop there as well. So keep your eye out for that and see what is on like Donkey Kong there, the rest of it. But geez Louise, it's been a rate of attrition. The Stove and Smith have gapped each other there because the Stove just decided to put himself out and turn himself off for a minute, have a break, and see where it's going. Whereas Mr. Munro says multi-ninja 888, too many waters. No, he's actually genuinely working tonight and sober as anything, I would hope. Bradley Cairns is all in there saying it's all kicked off. It has, mate. It's absolutely just gone nuts. Not too sure how these boys are going at it, but the patience just starts to run out a little bit around a street circuit, and you know exactly how to go racing for sure at the best of times. But it's Cullen who is out in front by 4.8 seconds over the rest of the field. 34.23 as he crosses the line there to start another lap here around. It's a 34.7 for Nichols. So definitely got the paces, Sam Cullen. He's 100% in there. Nearly got taken out there too, as we saw on that replay. That was disaster, in fact, for him just coming his way. Luckily, he came out of it unscathed and still navigating his way through the circuit and going hammer and tong. And why not? Let's have a look at how the race leader goes about it here for a lap around Belle Isle. As I take a break on the old vocal cords, I'll be back here in just a minute and 34 odd seconds. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Wet the whistle there. The vocal cord's a bit of a breather. And we're off and ready to go again. But it is on like Donkey Kong here. You can see how smooth as a baby's bum that lap was there from Sam Cullen. Leading this race by a country mile. And why not? When you're 6 seconds out in front, that is the gap between you and the guy coming through in the orange and blue car. Not the one without a front bumper. That is lap traffic. But it's getting a little bit spicy here between Tucker at the moment. So we're going to jump to him really quickly and see what's going on here between him and Zammit. In fact, he has got a little bit of a gap. It was, well, between him and Georgeson. In fact, Georgeson was coming through at a rate of knots, was Wado Horse. And he's trying to go over it. Look at that with the Predator on the front of his car. Looking pretty cool. For Aussie Sim Racing, this is one of the men who puts on the show as Smith comes into the pits. So this man here puts on the show between himself and the other members at Aussie Sim Racing. But this man here is one you don't want to punt off, because you could be a race banned if that's the case here. But Wade's driving around very nicely here inside the top 15. He'll be very, very happy. Smith's into the pits, Marshall's into the pits, and as we look at the man, he's just undone himself. We've caught you, mate. Unfortunately, we've caught you, Wado. And that is you sending it off into the far, far realms of the concrete jungle. That is Belle Island, nearly taking out a competitor at the same time. Goodness gracious me in the fair dinkum department. That is not how you want to do it and put on the example there. But this is getting hot and heated here now. This man has been in all sorts tonight. He's been in the wars. He might as well have been in every world war since the 1912, because he's just absolutely shown how to do it and how not to do it. That's how you do it here around Battle Isle. But there's a couple of times he's just outbraked himself into some turns and just given up positions that he's fought his way back through the grid to do so, has Shelton. So bit of a fight back for him. Will he get himself inside the top 10 by the end of the event? We do not know. Zamet, however, though, is very, very close here to the back of Agent Smith, who's just come out of the pits and has got cold tyres. So he's trying to fight his way through. Oh, it's for position there. Nearly takes the side out as well. He had to put the steering angle on beautifully there to avoid absolute pit manoeuvring, and he's still fighting it. Now he's got a beautiful run, in fact, so he's going to take Smith for P11. Who's on cold tyres here, but still, that's a good indication for an undercut or an overcut here once he does come into the pits. So keep your eyes peeled for that too. Grant's into the pits as well, so he's coming out of 5th place. He'll fall down the grid a little bit here too, so where's he going to end up in the grand scheme of things? Nostratap is in 8th place at the moment in Patterson. He's in the pit lane too, so he's coming in for his serving. Grant's going to be definitely in front of him by the time they come out. It's all happening. Price is right. What's happened to Price, in fact? He's just fallen backwards at a rate of knots. Nothing that I can see. Let's have a look at him anyway, as he single files his way around in the Pizza Hut Hulk liveried car. I'm pretty sure that is from back in the day, Macaulay Jones style. No, it's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's even better. He's fighting his way through like Leonardo at the moment, just slicing through the field. And it's all happening. They're all starting to come into the pits now. So this is the time where Cullen, Nickel and Tomei might have to start thinking about when to do so, because they're halfway through a race here. It says an hour and 5, but I guarantee you it's 42 laps or an hour and 5 minutes, whichever one comes first for these boys. And we don't know, because the timing tower doesn't show us. Doesn't want to do a leverage. Watkins, however, here has had a bingle. He's crashed out of this one. He's just got out of the way nicely of a couple of drivers. Here comes Lachlan Grant through the field as well. Is he going to outbrake himself again? Yes, he does. He just sends it wide, and that's no issue for him. He didn't really crash. He just tried to navigate his way into the braking zone. It's caught out a lot of people tonight. It's not the place to be at the moment. But speaking of which, Cullen is in the pits now. So he's single-filed his way through. There's a very, very damaged Gen 3 supercar behind, getting some repairs. So Cullen's in. Tomei's in the pits, and so is Varga as well. So the top 4 have all come in and now served their spot. The Ovens got through into 2nd place. Nickel has now got to think about which place he's going to go for a pit stop. Speaking of which, this man will be wanting to pit as well as Wado. Caught him 2 laps earlier, just sending it and locking it off into the concrete jungle, but he's got it all tank slap in here and rotates the car around. Absolute disaster, and slapped into the wall. God, that's big damage on his car. That's huge damage. The front quarter panel is also bent. There's no front bumper on it, and that is a very sad looking Wado horse. Not the place he wants to be. Let's put it that way for him at the moment. But Cullen now is into the pits and out of the pits again. So he's circulating around. It's Nickel's time to come in for him. He's gapping the stove like no tomorrow, so there's going to be no risk for him. But this is your effective race leader. So I've got to keep your eyes out on that timing tower to see where they come out and see what happens for everyone as well on that top 4 charge through the field. Beautiful, beautiful stuff indeed. And I'm loving life here. These guys have absolutely shown what they can do. There might be a lull in proceedings, ladies and gentlemen, on the timing towers, but don't you worry, it's about to heat up, because Nickel has found himself into the pits as well, and now he's single filing his way. Who's going to come in? Where is Cullen going to be in terms of him on the track at the moment? He's sitting in 4th. He's rounding the final 3 corners of this circuit, so just navigated the right-hander. Now he's got 2 more turns to go. Cullen is yet to go past him at this stage. Nickel is about to come to a stop. Sam Cullen's going to come past him very, very quickly, I would say, here at the moment. So this is the position here for P1 and 2. Cullen had it by a fair way. He's racing around. Is Nickel moving at the moment? No, he's not. So there is your race leader once again. Cullen has gone out. Nickel is yet to move here at the moment. So he is definitely taking a long one for this one. Has he forgot to take off the damage? I'm not too sure. Back on the air jacks, onto the ground he goes. And out he comes. That is a huge gap between P1 and 2. Look at it. That's 14 seconds and climbing here so far for Nickel. So he's got a fair bit of a gap to make up. Must have put a long rate of fuel in for sure for the big man to do that. But he knows that he could possibly get himself up there. But Cullen is on fire tonight. Absolutely charging through the field is that big man. Marshall's just got past the price is wrong. And I hope that wasn't an incident for him either. I'm not too sure. We'll find out very quickly. Oopsie daisy. Let me get that back. There you go. In fact, we'll go to there. And there. And back down again. Goodness gracious me. It's all kicking off here. Not too sure what's happened there. We'll just chop that side of it out. That's okay for now. But back to full screen we go. And they're hammering and tonging here at the moment. Beautiful racing between these boys. It's a cracking little track. Here's Belle. And it's good to have all of these boyos just sticking themselves where the sun does shine and knowing how to go about it and go racing. It's pretty incredible to see how these guys do and do not go racing. You've got skills of every single way up and down the field here. And speaking of which, this man here is climbing onto the back of Johnny Howard. Here's Lachlan Grant on debut tonight in iRacing for the Aussie boys in the Gen 3 Supercars. Having a good time is this man. He's a quick driver in the big bangers. You've seen him before do that sort of thing, and he loves it, and he knows exactly where to put a car at the best of times. Let's ride on board with him here. So I'll have another break just to see how they go about it. Unless something happens here, let's ride on board with Sensational TV's own Lachlan Grant for a lap of Belle. And that's a lap on board with Lachlan Grant, showing us how it's done. There's a car facing backwards in Maynard's sponsored car. Not the place to be for him either. Wouldn't want to be doing that too much, and I think that would have been this man. No, it wasn't. It was definitely not him. It was Hutchins who crashed. But this man's had a bingle too. It's just going to be another outbraking manoeuvre, I would predict. Lock the brakes up. See you later. Off into the bunda he goes. Wade Georgian style. And gets that job done and back out onto the racetrack pretty quick. Let's have a look here. What happened to InXS? He was facing the wrong way there. Not too bad is this car looking, but once he's done that, he's just looped it onto the kitty litter, out the other side and slap. See you later, alligator. He is done for all money. And that is disaster for that man tonight. He won't be singing to the high heavens later on. I can give you the mail there. I'm just going to sit there and think about how to go racing. But speaking of which, it's getting close because Tomei's coming through on Grant. And Grant has not been able to get past Howard, who's just slapped the wall there as well. So a little bit of something going on here for these boys. They've got to think about how to go racing. Just which way to look and think. Is it going to be forward? Is it going to be backwards? Am I just going to think about biding my time here? Or is it just going to be now full push? Because at the moment, Howard's a cork in the bottle. To Tomei. And Tomei's coming at a rate of knots here. We're right on board with him and see how he goes about it too. Because that's a sensational TV car in front of him. That is Lachlan Grant. Then Howard is in front of him as well. Looking very, very racy, these three cars now. They're coming up to some traffic too. So they've all got to start thinking about where to put the cars in position. Because those blue flaggers are in a treacherous position here right now. In a tight section of Belle Isle. Don't know which way they're going to go. Is he going to get out of the way? Let's see what Howard's going to navigate this like and see how he goes too, because this could be interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what Logan can do. He's right up the clucker here. He's just going to get right out of the way. Beautifully done. Now it's all pressure point off. Going to get out 1, 2, 3 cars out of the way. That blue flag with no front bar on it. That's a view on the back end of Logan Howard's car. Just noses it in just on that point. Look how much curb he takes in comparison to Lachlan Grant there. Just very, very cautious indeed. But Grant versus Tomei is starting to heat up. And this is what Grant's view is like out the rear vision mirror, so to speak. A little bit smaller, however, but still racing very, very hard are these boys. And you can see that Mustang just getting so, so close to the back of him. That Chevrolet 1, 2, and 3 here in this one. Ford 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. And then it's Camara's all the way down to 12th. So the blue oval is not in an advantageous position as we thought it would be here tonight. Varga has had an absolute mare tonight as well. He's been the race winner for a couple of times during this round. Well, during this championship, in fact. And he definitely knows how to put a blowtorch on or two. Sitting in 8th place at the moment, 3.5 seconds off the back of Agent Smith. So he's got to think about where he can put himself further up into this race. 38 minutes and 50 seconds into it. Starting to think about which way to go. That's an error there from Lachlan Grant. That's going to be half an invitation, if not a full one, for Tomei to get up the inside. Shows the nose early there. Grant's not phased by it. He'll just keep motoring on. That's given a big breather there to Howard in front of him. It was only 4 tenths. Now it's 1.1 seconds. So 6, 7 tenths advantage now back into the hands of Howard over Grant. This battle has been going on for the last 2 laps here, and they know exactly how to do it. It's beautiful, beautiful driving from everyone in Sundry, mind you. Now, it's been a cracker here so far, over the halfway mark. And if you haven't already, ladies and gentlemen, please give us a like, give us a subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. See where Sensational is going to be broadcasting, and it's all happening. We've got things coming out the wazoo at the moment. And it's a beautiful, beautiful sight to have here. Lachlan Grant's under a bit of pressure now because Tomei's still coming at him. And he's really, really thinking about how to go racing forward or go backwards. He hasn't been able to decrease that gap of 1.2 seconds in front of him to Howard. So it's now probably eyes backwards here, a little bit more than forwards for Grant, knowing that a car of Tomei's is coming right at him, who is 3 positions down from where he started the race, mind you. So he should be up there in 2nd place. It's had a bit of a mare there. Oh, geez Louise, that was close there on the entrance. He nearly locked up a front wheel and sent it straight into the barrier. Not the place to be, but look at the drive he just gets out of turn 2. Fantastic racing between these guys. They 100% know how to do it. Grant's just up there showing the nose and just giving a little bit of an invitation, but nothing to see. There goes the blue flagger out. I think that was that's a bad error. It's been happening all night down there. Toughest place to go racing is that one. It's definitely put out the best out of it too. Marshall is just making his way through the field though, is Kobe, and he's just got the job done there beautifully. Up the inside of Price is wrong, and he's going to gallop his way through, hopefully in the red and black machine. Did not qualify where he wanted to be. He dead set qualified last because his internet stuffed out in the quali session. Perfect timing for that to happen. Nat, as they would say, Borat style. But goodness gracious me, loving this. Loving everything. Let's have a look at what the chat's doing here at the moment. We've got a bit different to the VK and the Gen 3, says Multi Ninja, of course. That is completely right in the Lachlan Grant talk earlier. Grey Ward said, got taken out in turn 1. Come on, Lockie, and bring it home, son. Well, we've got 2 supporters here now for him. 1 on the stream and 1 out there in viewership land as well. And Psych Social, great stream. Makes me being stuck in the pits feel a part of the race. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, the drummer from Whitesnake, that you're in the pits and just watching the world go by. It would feel so, so slow. And I feel for you, my dear friend. But enjoy the show from the rest of it here, because it's starting to get a bit spicy between these 3 once again. Grant's just found another 3 tenths back to Logan Howard. Tomei has not got any closer. but they're still driving very, very well indeed, these three. Just no errors from either of them, really. Just doing the normal racing stuff, racing things, thinking about which way to go about it, and go forwards from there. Let's have a look at what happened, because Sam Cullen, our race leader, has had an error. It said he's crashed. It's gone over the outside here. Is it going to be a out-braking maneuver? Is he just going to go up onto... Oh, he has two. Looped it around and smack into the wall. Sam Cullen's going to be out of this one, ladies and gentlemen. He's 100% got steering damage there too, I would say. That is disaster for the big man. Goodness me, in the fair dinkum of the bumper. But the bumper's come back on. How has that happened? But he smashed it again, and now it's definite going to be... Oh, that front suspension is Gonski's. 100% disaster for Cullen. Had it all to win here, ladies and gentlemen, and now he's flying backwards at a rate of knots. Surely he is going to be coming into the pits very, very soon. That gap is 14 seconds. He's just ever decreasing, and he's clumbering his way back round this Belle circuit, Lewis Hamilton puncture style, but he's got a lot more damage than that. He can't even get the thing turned right here at this stage. Thank God he says that pit lane is right there for me to come in, but that's going to be a hell of a lot of damage done to his car, and Nickel is going to sail through and absolutely be gifted this lead, and that promotes Howard Grant Tomei all up into the podium fighting positions. Goodness gracious me, and the oven's going to come back at a rate of knots too in 5th place. So huge implications there for the race leader in Sam Cullen. Absolutely dead set. We'll be spewing about that. He's only got 27 minutes to get back up into... In fact, 17 minutes, sorry, to get himself back up into it. And I don't think he's going to be there. He's going to sit in the pits and come out with that damage fixed right now in 10th place. And Mead, Patterson, Price and Marshall are all going to be hoping that he can't get through and take that positions off them, because that is a free place for all of them. But now Grant is in the podium. And I'll tell you what, Tomei can smell it. He can taste it. He knows that P3 is right in front of him by 0.2 of a second. Now they're racing hammer and tong. This could be interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Lachlan Grant in debut in the Gen 3s at Aussie Sim Racing, having a real good time here. He's just kept it clean here for the rest of it, but he's made an error, and that's going to invite Tomei. Hopefully, no, it doesn't. Perfect time to make an error. There's no overtaking opportunities right through this section of the Belle circuit. Goodness me, in the fair dinkum department, this has all started to heat up. 44 minutes and 23 seconds gone out of a 60-minute, and P3 is on like Donkey Kong here. Howard's in P2. Nickel's only 1.2 seconds up the road as well. So if we've only got 17 minutes left to go in this one, and we've got P3 and 1 and 4 all fought over only 2.2 seconds, we could be on for a Donkey Kong, but Howard's in the pits, so he's out. He's had to come in late, 44 minutes into this one. So that's promoted Grant and Tomei up one more position, and the oven too. They've all come through now. Nickel just has to survive for these last teen minutes, whatever they are, teenage minutes of this race. And he's 100% just got to keep it going there for himself to make himself get a win. Oh, goodness gracious me, it's all happening all up and down the field. Grant's still in 2nd place. Tomei's in 3rd. We've got, who else? We got Ethan Curran's just crashed as well, so we're going to have a look at him as well. This is the other Curran out there too. He's already got no bumper on the front of that Camaro, and now he's trying to navigate his way through the field. You can see a car's just getting past. There's some blue flaggers coming out his way, and he's just going to outbrake himself again and lock up. I can't trust that bloody timing tower saying that someone's crashed, because 85% of the time tonight it has been dead set 100% wrong. They've all just outbrake and maneuvered themselves too. But let's have a look here, because Patterson has just got a little bit closer to the arse end of the Price is Wrong at the moment, and we'll see where he could be further up the grid than where he has been. Can Patterson, because he started in 14th, he's inside the top 10, and he knows exactly where he is at the moment. At 7 positions gained for him, any position gained on a racetrack from where you qualified is a win, and he's got 7 times that. So he'll be absolutely flying. I wonder what it's going to be like in the Patterson household after this. Is the after hours gamesmanship going to come into play there? That's good. Could be on here, because that was huge there from Price. He just got all squiggly and taily, wagging that ass like a belly dancer, for goodness sake. Just came out the other side, thought about which way he could go, and absolutely lovely just got it back into a race rhythm finally, because it's given Patterson no chance here at the moment. But he's looking very, very cork in the bottle situation here. Oh, out the back window of that. He's just going to let them pass, I think, here, is he? Yes, he has. In fact, he's going very slow. He's coming into the pits, ladies and gentlemen, is the Price rain. So he is out. Patterson into 6th place. Happy days for him. This is Jeffrey Price on board. Cullen's got back through on him. So another little bit of a positional advantageous situation here for the man who was leading this race by a country mile and absolutely binned it, Osama style, and all on his own. And he's now in 7th place. It's given Nickel the lead. Lachlan Grant's in 2nd place. Tomei is only 1 place off where he started in 2nd place, and he's right up there too. There's a car off in the wall that we just missed. I think that was Leverage Watkins as well. Once again, let's have a quick look on the replay. So he's going to just outbrake himself again down into turn 4. We'll see. Yes, he is. He's 100% going to do it. Thank you very much. Yep, too hot in. Slaps the wall. Just nicks that tyre barrier. Won't be too much damage for him. He'll be able to sail on into the distance. But the battle is back on here because Tomei right now is looking very, very racy. And so is Lachlan Grant because there's only 9/10 of a second now between himself and Tim Nickel out in front. So is the man out in front going to get a nickel for his courage, or is he going to get a $5 note? We don't know. He'll be swimming in notes if he finishes this one. He gets prize money at the end of it. Don't you worry, from his sponsors. If he can get a top 5 position, he gets $400. If he gets a win, he gets $2,000. So it's $2K on the line here for Tim Nickel. Lachlan Grant right there is with him. And right even closer is the man we're on board with, Mr. Rob Dog Tomei. He's 100% in there. I wish it was Timei, because I could be doing American. What's that movie called? I can't remember what it's called. Timei. That'd be so funny. But anyway, back to the racing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just starting to lose my marbles here. We've got 12 minutes left to go in this one. It says 1 hour and 5. Is that going to be the case, or is it going to be just the 42 laps? We don't know. But the timer is ticking down. The race end is getting closer. And this battle is starting to get real spicy here at the moment. Who is going to make an error out of these boys? If no one does, that is beautiful, beautiful driving from this opening stanza. Oh, there's a car in the way there too. That's hurt the big man, Tim Nickel. Got to get out of the way, Blue Flag, in the Snowy River Caravans. Not the place to be. And that's given Lachlan Grant a little bit of a taste to what victory could be here. And the same thing with Tomei. He didn't get held up too much to Grant, but I'll tell you what, Nickel did. And Grant's just on the slide, just rotates that car beautifully on the slip angle, comes out the other side, somehow not looping it. Goodness me, in the fair dinkum department, this is racing, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sensational TV, and this is Aussie Sim Racing in the Gen 3 Supercars around Belle Isle. Lovely, lovely stuff. Holy mackerel indeed. It's 2/10 of a second now. The closest it's been in a long time here between Tomei and Grant. Grant's holding on for dear life. Hitting some form in all sorts of sim racing is Lachlan Grant. Is showing us how to do it here at Belle Isle. Lovely, lovely driving. Just apexing beautifully. Gets that car nosed out. No slip angle, no oversteer on exit there. The windscreen wipers on there for Tomei. I don't know why he's doing that. It's clear as day out there at the moment. 20/20 vision all round. And it's just back to 5 or 6/10 of a second now between these two. Grant really finding some grips there on the brake pedal. Just slid it in lovely there for this one. This is the closest battle on the track here at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. We're not missing anything other than people crashing in the background. But it's good to see. And I'll tell you what, Sykes is back out. He's out of the pit lane. He was in there for 2 years, to be right, in sim racing land. Found himself back out there, joined into the stream as he was going on, and what a lovely, lovely gesture it is. But Grant has just gapped Tomei and is hounding the back of Tim Nickel again. So right on board here with Grant O'Horse in the green livery car, green suited car, sorry, the sensational liveried, beautiful looking Mustang there himself. And that is a view from what he can see for Tim Nickel in front of him. Beautiful, beautiful driving from everyone in his top 3 at the moment. The oven is 3 seconds just thereabouts away from this gap as well. Cullen's trying to fire his way back through the field from leading this one. He's in 6th place at the moment, but he'll be absolutely red misting in that cockpit. I can give you the hot tip. Not the ideal way to go around that corner, Lachlan Grant, because there goes a position, and he's into the pits as Lachlan Grant come, in fact. So with 9 minutes left to go in this race, Lachlan's come into the pits and had to serve another one. So the man who could have been on for a podium here is dead set going to lose out unless everyone else in front of him has to come into the pits. I'm not too sure. This could be interesting, ladies and gentlemen, if it comes to fruition in the next 5 or 6 minutes or so. These boys definitely will be coming into the pits if they're on the same strategy as Lachlan Grant. And if he's done so, he's done an undercut. And we'll see if that works out for him. Timing Tower starting to light up here. Kobe Marshall is just hounding and hounding and hounding. Back in 10th place he is. He started in 35th, as you can see on the grid. And inside the top 10 just shows you how quick that man is and can be. He's now got Agent Smith in front of him. 0.3 of a second. and he's just looking very, very racy indeed. See the car behaviour in front from Smith versus Marshall. Now they start to get themselves fired up and ready to rock and roll. Could be interesting. Could be on like Donkey Kong in just half a lap's time. If they both manage to get through this corner, they do. That's it. A little bit wide there from Smith. Marshall could see that coming. He's now got a little bit more closer. Just half a car length closer. Up onto the outside, inside curb he goes. That gives him some pace, just using all and a bit more of the track limits. No one really touches that inside curb apart from Kobe Marshall driving around the circuit. So it could be advantageous there. And go for it. Grant has come out of the pits. He is in 6th place. He's been jumped by Sam Cullen. So by 2.3 seconds there for the big man, even though Cullen was trundling around at 110k an hour for 2/3 of the lap after that damage, still managed to jump lock and ramp by 2 seconds. And here's a good opportunity here for Marshall. Again, he's right up the clacker now. He's just got to apex that car out, get the hammer down, and put it pedal to the metal here. Can he get the job done? Full crossed up, in fact, he was. That was very, very close indeed. Tight technicals part of the circuit. Apexes it late. Fires it out the other side. Gets on the accelerator pedal quicker than everyone else in front of him. Smith now is feeling the pressure. He's feeling the pump there in the old Coca-Cola and purple Fanta liveried Mustang. It's beautiful driving here from all in sundry. Marshall's the Camaro rounding out the top 10. It's still getting a bit spicy up and down the field. Tomei and Nickel are only a second apart, basically, there between the two of them. Marshall here is driving super, super well, and so is Smith in front of him. Fantastic stuff from these gentlemen here in the dying moments of this race. And speaking of which, I'm going to give myself a quick break until Marshall, unless he gets up the inside here. He does. He's got the job done now on Smith. Up the inside goes Kobe. Dead set. Oh, no, and he's looped it at the same time. Jeez Louise, he's caught that one, but that base... can't even speak. The beautiful manoeuvre that he just got done all means for nothing. Smith fights on and lives for another day here so far until the checkered flag is waved. But Kobe had P9 all sewn up, delivered to him, hand platter style, and he just binned it on the exit and threw it away. Unfortunately for him, goodness gracious me. That is something to think about. We've got 6 minutes left to go, or it could be 10 minutes. Who knows what the timing tower is telling me. And that means I'm just going to take another quick break here on the vocal cords, and I'll be back here, well, right on board. Why don't we right on board with Tomate, who's got Nickel in front of him. That's the view. Enjoy the sound of a Ford Mustang around Belle. Oh, big moment there. Nickel inherited the lead. It's amazing to the pits. But I'll tell you what, in the background, the old Ukrainian warrior just got absolutely slammed out of the way, did the soy mock-up, because he was holding up those cars by an absolute mile there in the end of it. That was disaster. Look at him. He's just full on just not getting out of the way, blue flag style, and just gets punted in the background there by the stove. I'm pretty sure that was... No, it wasn't. It would have been one of the purple cars out there. Goodness gracious me. That is what you get for being in the way for a good half a lap there. And I'll tell you what, it's on like Donkey Kong. That would have put Sam Cullen's lights all up in the air because he saw that coming. Grant's got through beautifully, but he's gapped him. The old tyres there for Cullen are really, really coming to a disadvantage here in the final minutes of this race. and it's looking very, very spicy indeed here. Can Grant get himself a podium out of this one? We'll find out very, very shortly. 4/10 of a second now on the fresher set of tyres. You can see Cullen just blue flagging, flashing his way out of all these guys. He knows it's on like Donkey Kong. No one is getting out of his way either. Let's have a look on board here from Cullen. He's got some cars in front of him now, and oh, Cullen's just nearly lost it. Grant's got through, and that was big time moment there. Cullen is just fighting it back tooth and nail. Goodness gracious me, Grant's going to go for it too. Now the cars are out of the way, sort of there in the blue flag department. Let's have a look exactly what happened there, because geez Louise, it looked like I'll tell you what, Sam Cullen was all done for money there. Let's have a look at how Lachlan Grant did it. Oh, he just touched him in the rear end, in fact, too. So a bit of a redress there. Good stuff there from Lachlan Grant. Cullen's got to get back through, but we've got to go racing once again to see what's happening there between these two. It's only 4/10 of a second, ladies and gentlemen, now. And this is all on like Donkey Kong here in the closing minutes. Cullen versus Grant, getting very, very spicy indeed. Grant thought he had the move done. Just fired it in too early there. Nearly turned around Sam Cullen. Lucky his reactions were on point. But geez Louise, does Lachlan Grant want this podium here tonight? Jeez, turn it up here, ladies and gentlemen. This is racing. This is what you want. Hope you're all enjoying it out there at the moment in viewership land, because this battling up and down the field has been just relentless the whole way through this race. No one has been giving an inch. We've had Cullen bin himself into the wall, still managed to find himself here in third place with a very, very quick and fresh set of tyres on Lachlan Grant's car we're on board with now. And it could be the session that makes Lachlan Grant a hero. But look at Cullen's aggressiveness up the inside of the blue flaggers there. Now they're all going to get out of the way. Hasn't hurt him too much, in fact. So Grant's just about there. It only lost 1/10 of a second in Cullen over Grant. Now they're going racing. Now they're hammer and tonging each other here. This could be very, very spicy. One unforced error, one brake lock, one missed apex. You name it, for either of these boys in this battle is all over, bar the shouting. And as close, 3/10 of a second. Boy, in the fair dinkum department, loving every single moment of this. Just navigating their way around Circuit Battle Isle here. It has been full of action. Cars looking up, going off into the runoff area. Then we've got crashes. We've had people lose it at turn 1 in lap 1. Caused pile-ups, and it's still amounted to something like this in terms of the racing fashion. Very, very beautiful indeed. Loving life, loving everything. Shelton's had a crash again in the background there too. Goodness me, can that boy not get a trick tonight, the Ford Credit Mustang? But these guys now is where we want to watch. Riding on board with them. Stove, in fact, the oven is coming through. He's only a second away from Tim Nicol for maybe a potential win too. So again, loving life up and down the field here. Grant's got 3/10 of a second now between himself and Cullen. They are going to be the quickest man on the circuit, and we'll see how they go racing indeed. And it's close and close and close. Look at that, 3/10 again. Just absolutely flying. Sensational car, Speed Nation, Simulator Driver Trading, Zach Accelerated on their Bilco pack. Then we've got ARD Importing as well, all on that car. Lovely, lovely looking machine there too. Lachlan Grant's putting on a show here at the moment. The lead is under a second now, however, though, between the oven and the big man, Tim Nicol, out in front. This could start to get spicy here now, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know what's happening because these boys have been racing all night. It's ticked over an hour. Is it going to be the last lap of the race? I don't know. We'll find out very, very shortly, because at the moment it looks like they've all done 38 laps right now. So it means they're going to go to the 42, I reckon, here to the end of it. So we've got 4 laps to go in this one, and these guys are going to go racing for it as well. And it's only 4/10 of a second now between this battle, and it's only 4/10 of a second between third and fourth. So P1, 2, and 3 and 4 are all decided very much so by margins of a second. Who knows who's going to come out on front in this one? Looking very, very racy here at the moment is Nicol, but I'll tell you what, the oven has cranked it right back up to 240. Fan Force coming your way, ladies and gentlemen, just blowing every single opportunity he possibly can to make an error come Nicol's way. 5/10 of a second is the gap there. Grant, however, is right on the back here of Cullen again. It's 2/10 is the gap. Look at that car. Absolutely closer than ever. Just beautiful, beautiful driving here. It'll be so frustrating being the car behind of Lachlan Grant. It's just so close, but so far is that P3 for him. What are we going to see here? Goodness me, in the fair dinkum department, everyone is loving life here so far. As again, it has just been a beautiful, beautiful scenario here up and down the field this whole evening. It's been just, I can't even Can't even put words into it. It's just been fully on like Donkey Kong, up and down the field. You name it. The boys have been there and they're putting on a show. That was a wag there from Lachlan Grant as well. You can see in the distance a car just get out of the way, blue flag style. That was disaster. I think that was Sorella who just came out and crashed. It was, in fact, so he's back out of that one. Now it's happening. We're all going for it. We're all racing hard. We're all on for sheep stations here with 39 laps completed out of 42. Well, whichever one comes first out of the hour and 5. Oh, this is going to be very, very spicy indeed. The oven's actually coming to the pits, though. So the oven is out of this one. That's going to give Cullen P2 now. And that's going to give Lachlan Grant that podium. So, late pit manoeuvre there for the Stove. Out of the pit exit he comes. Is he going to come out right at the point or not? He's right there with them, in fact. He's going to be on cold tyres, but through goes Grant, through goes Cullen, and he's right on the back end. He's going to have one lap for those tyres to start warming up. This could be another one, another story that develops here in the end of this round 4 championship. Winning car at the moment is unbelievable stuff. Who's going to take the chockies at the end of this one? We don't know, but it's P3, 4 and 5, or second, third and fourth, sorry, all done and won by an average of 0.3 of a second. That is how close it is, and you can see that those tyres have already started to warm up here. I reckon he just pumped the pressures up, did the oven, because he knows he's only got 2 laps to do it. Why put cold tyres on there under pressure for the long run? Just bolt them on and keep going. That's what I say, and he's doing a great job here at the moment. Really, really hammer and tonging it is the oven. Going through the motions here, just getting that car nosed in beautifully. So does Lachlan Grant there too. So does Sam Cullen. 3 guys all battling here for P2, 3 and 4 on the final dying moments of this one. Goodness me, but Nichol's even come into the pits there too. So, oh, no, he's not. He's absolutely binned coming into the pit lane. You have got to be kidding me. That is disaster for the big man. He's just thrown away a race win for sure. Here is Nicol. My goodness gracious me, I've never seen that in my life for sure. What has happened to the big man? Let's have a look and just see what happened when he entered the pit lane. So he's come in at a rate of knots, and then he's just absolutely looped. Oh, bang, into George, and he goes. Oh, my goodness me. Fair income in the old dead set department. That is bumper off style. That is it for him. He is out. 100%, ladies and gentlemen. The worst place for him to be. Sam Cullen is back in the lead. I'm not kidding ya. He is back in the lead. Lachlan Grant is in second place. And he's got Stove right behind him. It's 1.2 seconds away. But it's Grant now on for a race win here, ladies and gentlemen. Cullen's still 0.4 of a second in front. He's got clean air at the moment. But boy, oh boy, will Lachlan Grant be wanting to absolutely take this one by a country mile if he can. Sam Cullen's just absolutely living daylight stuff here at the moment. Really, really driving like his life depends on it. He knows he's got a P1 after the disaster there at this stage. I'll tell you what, the big man will not be happy of Tim Nicol after that sort of stuff. Pit entry, disaster there for him. Full just punteritoed into the back of Georgeson and just pirouetted around. No bumper left on that car before he even got into the pit lane speed limiter, and that was it for him. Holy mackerel indeed. Nicol versus Howard have got the job done on each other there too. It's still going. Goodness gracious me, can Lachlan Grant taste it? But I'll tell you what, Cullen's putting on all the defensive masterclasses here he possibly can. This is bone-tying stuff, nail-biting, you name it. It's all on like Donkey Kong here. This is the 41st lap. Are we going to see it? This is it. This is for the win. I'm telling you, the checkered flag is out, and Sam Cullen's going to hold on here to take P1. Lachlan Grant's got P2 on debut tonight as well. The oven has come through in P3. He'll be absolutely overblowing at the moment. He'll be at 4,000 watts. Will that big man after P3 for him? Tomei has fought back into 4th. Logan Howard gets 5th as he crosses the line. Beautiful, beautiful racing for those guys in the top 5. Varga Jr. Goodness gracious me. What could have been for this man tonight? 4 out of 3 races he's attended, and he's absolutely won it every time. Smith has got 7th place. Marshall in 8th. Nicol had to settle for 9th after that misdemeanor. He will not be a happy camper. He's already left the server, in fact. Shelton comes through. Oh, he's nearly there. In fact, he's going to round the final 3 or 4 turns here. If not by a disaster, he will secure 11th place. We're right on board with him until he gets through to the finish. In fact, they're all just racing at the moment. They're all done. They're all out. The checkered flag is waved, and they're going for it here. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. What a race, in fact, between all of them. It has just been an absolute barnstormer, but this man has absolutely sent it from everywhere. Gets the Driver of the Day award. Led this race, came into the pits, came back out, led it again, slapped it into the wall, had no front suspension left on the thing, got it into the pits, came back out, repaired, done one and run all the way down in 8th position, and still manages to come through and get the win. Unbelievable stuff there from Sam Cullen. Got the Driver of the Day, and well deserved indeed for this man on your screen. Lachlan Grant will definitely be happy with his P2 performance here tonight on debut as well, representing us here at Sensational TV. And it just shows that a set of course at iRacing, the crossover, he doesn't give a rat's toss about that. He just come out and got the P2, got that strategy done, dived it into the pits relatively late in the session. But boy, oh boy, we'll be happy. And he's just doing everything he can to celebrate for that. Fantastic drive from him and the oven too. He had it all his way and somewhat not as well. Fighting for dear life between himself and Smith earlier on in this race. He's come out on top, got P3, and he's taken some pretty quick drivers with him as well. Into May, Howard, Varga, Smith and Marshall. So, and Nickel too, don't count him out. That was a performance of a lifetime. Let's have a look at the results here, ladies and gentlemen. If it comes up, goodness gracious me. Let's have a look quickly. Come on, show us the overall. It won't show up. Goodness me. That one will show, but will the results show? Let's have a look. There. Nope. Let's go to the results. Goodness me. No, not even going to show it. Doesn't want to do it. Won't show us for us, and that's just fantastic. But anyway, let's have a look here. Get that one up. And there it is. It finally comes up. Cullen takes the win by 4/10 over Lachlan Grant. Stove gets 3rd place. Tomei, Howard, Varga, Smith, Marshall, Nickel, and Stuart Patterson round out the top 10 with Shelton, Benny Mead, Morgan Allen, Armstrong, Sorella, Rogers, Deploy, Ash Rogers as well. 16th and 18th for the two father-son battles there as well. Get those grids there. Then further down the grid, we've got the Wizard in 19th place, Clark Rubber in 20th, British Pig in 21st, Soy Mocker 22nd, Wade Georgeson, he's been in an absolute nightmare tonight, 23rd for him. The Old Leverage Watkins in 24th, In Excess 25th, Sam Tucker 26th, Jansen 27th, Price in 28th. And then for the rest of the grid, who did not really finish from there, was Jansen, Price, Curran, Cook, Maitland, Summerall, Zammit, Greyward, who we saw in chat, got punted out. Jade Andrews, Simpson, Sykes, Cumming and Holton around out the 38 drivers on the grid tonight. But it's all been over one man, and he has won it by an absolute country mile, has the big fella, and that would be one man who we know is Sam Cullen. Beautiful stuff from him. Can't get the interviews done tonight here after that one. Got a bit of technical difficulties with Discord here at the moment, so I apologise for that. But that's it for us here at Belle. That's round 4 of the Gen 3 Supercars season here done at Aussie Sim Racing. And boy, oh boy, did they put on a show for that one. Fantastic stuff. Thank you to everyone in the chat there. I'll read you a couple of ones out there as well. Multi Ninja says, go Lockie. Well, absolutely, he was right there. Tim Nickel won't be happy. He says, incoming mail. And so fast into the pits, did Sykesy say as well? Yeah, well, Mr. Whitesnake, I'll tell you what, he was right there too. Great race, boys, again, says Sykes Social. Marshall Motorsport says, could have been worse. Well, mate, it definitely could have been, but a top 10 after that is pretty good. And Multi Ninja comes in at the last death and says, second on debut is a hell of a drive from Lockie Grant. Can't agree more. That was fantastic stuff from you gentlemen out there tonight. But thank you, everyone. Thank you for the viewership. Thank you for being part of us here at Sensational TV and joining in on the fun. It's been a pleasure to call the action for you tonight. Thank you to our naming rights sponsors, Speed Nation, Simulator Driver Training there with Bilco Pack, Accelerated Driving School, ARD Importing as well, supporting the cause there too. And for Grey Ward for the Super Chat with $15 earlier on in the stream as well. Really, really helps us go a long way and keeps bringing the action. But I hope you've enjoyed it live in 4K streaming tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and 4K as well. When you go back and look at this one, should be interesting to have a look and see how it goes. But it's goodbye for me now here in the commentary box. I've been Zach O'Reilly and always will be, and you'll never be, as I always say. And this has been a Simsational TV production. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, you know what to do. Keep it flat out.
Sensational TV YouTube channel. Don't fucking miss it.